everyone. Pastor Joel Tudman's shocking confession about Bishop Henry Fernandez has left the church world reeling, sparking debates across congregations, social media platforms, and gospel communities about loyalty, leadership, truth, and the hidden battles that happen behind the pulpit. And while many saw Tudman's unexpected exit from the Potter's house under Bishop T.D. Jakes as the climax of his ministry drama, his latest confession regarding Bishop Fernandez has opened an entirely new chapter in the saga, one that reveals not just tension between two respected leaders, but also the painful reality of what happens when vision, ego, and spiritual responsibility collide. Tudman, who rose to prominence with his electrifying preaching style, youthful energy, and relatable storytelling, had built a reputation as one of the most promising voices of his generation. But beneath the surface, he admitted in his confession that there were moments of disillusionment and betrayal, especially when it came to his connection with Bishop Henry Fernandez, a man who himself is a towering figure in ministry, leading a megachurch and influencing countless believers through his teachings, conferences, and mentorship programs. Yet according to Tudman, the relationship between them was far more complicated than most people realized, starting with admiration but slowly spiraling into competition, unspoken grievances, and moments of deep disappointment. Tudman confessed that there were times when he felt undermined, when he believed Fernandez's words did not match his actions, and when he realized that spiritual alliances are not always built on unconditional support, but often on convenience, politics, and the need to protect reputations. And this revelation was shocking because it directly challenged the idea that high-profile leaders always operate in unity, exposing instead the reality that rivalries and quiet betrayals can exist even in the church. His confession went deeper still, as Tudman shared that he once turned to Fernandez in moments of weakness, expecting counsel, prayer, and fatherly guidance, only to leave feeling dismissed, misunderstood, or even manipulated. And while he did not present himself as blameless, acknowledging that his own pride, mistakes, and immaturity sometimes contributed to the rift, the weight of his words suggested a pattern of toxic dynamics that left him questioning whether his calling was being nurtured or exploited. Fans and critics alike have dissected this confession, with some insisting that Tudman was finally pulling the veil off a reality that has existed in megachurch culture for decades, where leaders protect their brand at all costs, sometimes sacrificing relationships and authenticity in the process, while others argue that Tudman's timing and tone reveal bitterness and unresolved hurt rather than pure truth. But what no one can deny is that his candor has sparked an urgent conversation about accountability, transparency, and the dangers of silence in spiritual leadership. The confession also included his personal struggle of feeling silenced while under Fernandez's shadow, as he admitted there were times when he questioned whether he was truly serving God or simply serving the vision of a man whose approval dictated his opportunities, and that realization shook him to the core, forcing him to rethink everything about ministry, success, and identity. For Bishop Fernandez, this public exposure places him at a crossroads because while he has long been celebrated for his powerful ministry, global reach, and ability to mentor rising leaders, Tudman's confession puts pressure on him to either respond directly or risk letting silence speak louder than any words. And the church community is watching closely to see if Fernandez will issue a statement, deny the claims, or seek reconciliation in private. Beyond the personal drama, what makes this confession so shocking is its broader implications for how people view church leadership today. Gone are the days when members unquestioningly believed that their leaders were immune to jealousy, strife, or power struggles, and instead, the reality is being laid bare that even the most anointed figures are still human, prone to mistakes, ego, and relational breakdowns. In the end, Pastor Joel Tudman's confession may not only redefine how people see Bishop Fernandez, but also how they see him. Because while some will applaud his honesty and courage to speak on what others only whisper, others will view him as divisive, airing private grievances in a way that could harm the body of Christ. Perhaps that tension is exactly what he wanted to reveal, that the church has for too long hidden behind politeness while real wounds went unhealed. And now the choice is before them. Either face the truth and grow, or continue the cycle of silence that leaves countless pastors, leaders, and members struggling in secret. Whatever comes next, one thing is certain. This shocking confession has shaken the foundation of relationships at the highest levels of ministry, and whether it leads to healing, division, or a complete shift in how leaders interact. The aftershocks will be felt for years to come, leaving the church world in suspense, questioning who to trust, and bracing for the next revelation that might once again prove that even the strongest men of God are not immune to conflict, confession, and controversy. Thanks for watching.